Like I mentioned in the last video, over the past few weeks, your boy has been on a heavy Royal Rumble binge, and over the past few weeks, I've been having a blast watching classic Rumble pay-per-views. And when you think of classic Rumble events, it's pretty unanimous what shows come to mind. You know, you think of 92, you think of 2001, 07, 08, and now even recently the 2020 show has rightfully reached classic status. I agree with all of those, but I also think there should be another one thrown in there. Ladies and gentlemen, Royal Rumble 2009 might low-key be a classic. This is a show that barely gets talked about. If there's ever been a Rumble show that's been kind of lost to time, it's definitely this one. And it's a damn shame because Royal Rumble 2009 is one of the most fascinating and fun Rumble pay-per-views I've ever watched. And I consider it a classic, and we gotta talk about it. Rumble 09 is special because this show centers around one man, and I don't know if you guys ever heard this, but apparently Randy Orton was a menace in 2009. And boys, this is the Randy Orton show.
What did I say?
Randy, after weeks of getting crazier and crazier, had just snapped and he had just killed Vince McMahon on Monday Night Raw. He slapped the man in the face, kicked him in the head, and left him leaving the arena on a stretcher. Now, this was something we had seen before. You know, Vince get his ass kicked. Austin did it back in the day. But Austin would just kind of torture him, give him a stunner. Randy was out here trying to catch a body. And going into the show, there was just so much hype around it. It was announced online that Randy was 100% going to face consequences for his actions. Even on SmackDown, they took time out to mention it. He might get fired, he might get arrested, but despite all of that, he was still scheduled to appear at the Royal Rumble, and it was like, wait, what if this crazy wins the Rumble? Yo, they made it seem like basically if Randy won the Rumble, it was going to be a national security threat or something. It was like as if a serial killer was on the loose. And let's be real, 90% of the people watching going into this show knew that this schizo who had just beat the hell out of Vince, who had just thrown Stephanie McMahon, was winning the Rumble. This was one of the most predictable Rumbles ever. I knew Randy was winning. My mom knew. Herbert from Family Guy knew. Everyone knew. But we still needed to see it. Rumbles have never needed a storyline to make the match hot, but when you get something like this every now and then, it adds so much. And it was Randy Orton versus the world. And luckily for us, this wasn't the only big match on the show, because what else makes the show fascinating is this was Jeff Hardy's one and only pay-per-view WWE title defense after Armageddon.
And there's 09 Jeff fucking Hardy.
Of course,
I forgot.
It was against that slimy, disgusting piece of shit Edge. What a time. Going to the Rumble, you had Randy in his prime, you had Jeff in his prime, the Rumble match, a stacked roster, a theme song for the event that is a banger
the stars
to
in
this
the
day
front?
that you already knew your boy had downloaded on his PSP and would listen to all day, every day. To say I was tuned in would be an understatement. Let's get into it.
I'm supposed to add the
show
stars in the
begins with
front
an
too.
awesome intro centered around Randy Orton, the menace, the savage, the demon from St. Louis, and they basically portrayed this man like he was King Von of the company, add in some Rumble hype and then
This how it's supposed to look?
I am looking for top ramen. There's no spot for ramen. Where's that? I can take you over here. Excuse me. How you doing? So my friend right here thought you were really attractive. Wanted to get your phone number. Wanted to get your phone number. You are.
Here you are.
a theme song for the event that is a banger to this day that you already knew your boy had downloaded on his PSP and would listen to all day, every day. To say I was tuned in would be an understatement. Let's get into it. The show begins with an awesome intro centered around Randy Orton, the menace, the savage, the demon from St. Louis, and they basically portrayed this man like he was King Von of the company, add in some Rumble hype, and the show starts off with a hot crowd and pyro everywhere. Now I know what you're thinking, Pav, I love you, you're a cool guy, but there's no way a show that starts off with Jack Swagger versus Matt Hardy for the
If you're not gonna put
title
right
is a
here,
classic.
girl, I'm not gonna do it.
Okay, that's valid, but let me cook. Yeah, sadly, this show does start off with this barn burner. Who the hell was watching ECW in 2009? But despite that,
no cap, they made ECW so trash, bro, so ass, bro. Like,
a little match. You had Matt Hardy doing his best, whatever that means in 2009, looking as clumsy as ever. Jack Swagger had negative aura, but we all know that. Matt Hardy almost broke his neck doing a moonsault in this match. Listen, Matt, I get you, but you're not gonna get her back by just popping your entire flow and breaking your neck. Listen, it was fine. It was Matt Hardy versus Jack Swagger, and the match was here for a reason. It was a solid 10-minute match, and at the end, after Matt Hardy got clapped, we had to watch Matt be all depressed because he lost the ECW title, and realistically, wasn't going to get any chance for it again anytime soon. Poor guy was going through it. But the night continues and we get to what actually matters, and that's the Randy Orton saga. And they have the commentary team cutting like this promo. It's so somber, and I swear they're using the same tone they use when someone actually dies in the company and providing updates on events. But I love when they show Randy Orton arriving to the arena. Everyone's just like winning him,
talking about
him,
09 Randy Orton, bro.
They're literally
when they were talking about 09 Randy Orton, they were talking like he's the world, like he was like Richard Nixon of WWE, like he was like the worst like the worst of all time, right? Nigga, like they was talking like he was the ultimate villain, like he was Joker and that shit. Talking with regard for human life, like they should like pursue with caution when they talk about this nigga Randy Orton. Like, bro, that's how the announcers were talking
Jeffrey Dahmer or something. Randy Orton was in the cut, and it was definitely a scary sight. And we get some more matches. Melina versus Beth Phoenix was all right, and Melina won the title.
Why they zoomed
I
into
give it 3 stars for Melina's entrance. And the first title match of the night was JBL versus Title. I give it 3 stars for Melina's entrance. And the first title match of the night was JBL versus the title. I give it 3 stars for Melina's entrance. And the first title match of the night was JBL versus John Cena in 2009. Yeah, maybe classic wasn't the word for this video. Okay, now I agree. Cena versus JBL in 09 was not moving anyone, especially when these idiots just had a feud in 2008 that was already overkill. But this match actually had some drama because this took place during the time where Shawn Michaels was destitute. Yo, shout out to wrestling for teaching me these words because there's no way I would have ever known what the hell destitute ever meant. Not now, let alone in 2008.
Shawn Michaels
era, what a great teaching tool.
What was going on?
This was when HBK was up.
This man HBK went broke and he had to go to JBL for some money and he became JBL puppet, bruh. Like, I'm like, what am I
broke
looking at,
boy,
bro?
and by definition, without the basic necessities of life. Wait, bro don't got water? The 2008 recession hit the world hard, but apparently one wrestler got clapped way harder than everyone else did. It was the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels was broke. Just a year after main eventing WrestleMania, he was broke, and as a result, he had to become JBL's slave. He would lose to him, he would help him win, just so JBL could pay him some money. Because apparently his wrestling contract wasn't enough. Every week Shawn Michaels would just be so depressed, following around JBL, he was basically Squidward in that one episode. Spare change. Shawn Michaels was broke and he had to be JBL's little servant just to feed himself and his family. What the f were they thinking?
Like, I don't know what they had Shawn Michaels
doing, at the Rumble for the world title. Was Shawn Michaels gonna help JBL become world heavyweight champion or not? So that was a little drama going in, but something very important happened right before this match started, by the way, that many people don't remember. Right before this match, for the first time, it was officially teased that HBK vs Undertaker might possibly happen at WrestleMania. Absolutely massive. Cena and JBL have a decent match, it was fine, but the best part was definitely Shawn Michaels' involvement. He was doing his thing, he was teasing his motive the whole time, and it was like, what is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? After all the shenanigans of the match, HBK gets in the ring, and it's like, who's gonna super kick, Cena or JBL? Who's it gonna be? And when it's time, boom, down goes JBL. And Cena gets like the goofiest look on his face.
And starts laughing, look at him.
God, what happened? I can't believe, gosh darn. He looks so goofy. Meanwhile, by the way, Shawn Michaels is so depressed, having a midlife crisis. Cena's making these facial expressions, and then boom, the crowd pops even more when Cena gets clapped, and in a pretty surprising twist, he actually puts JBL on top of Cena and leaves the ring. Now maybe I'm just a mark, okay, little stupid ass 10-year-old Pav. I thought it was cooked. When this first happened, I thought it was over. I really remember like looking at this like, yo, fuck your family, Shawn. You can't let JBL be champion. But HBK does the deed, he does his job, leaves the ring. But does it really matter? It's Super Cena. It's 2009. He kicks out. He holds the wrist like it's Okada versus Kenny Omega in the Tokyo Dome. I can't believe I just made a Kenny versus Okada reference in JBL versus Cena. And boom, 1, 2, 3, Cena wins. Listen, it was whatever, right? It was average. It wasn't anything special. 6 out of 10 match. It was Cena versus JBL in 2009. But for a few seconds, for a few minutes, when HBK was doing his thing, it was pretty awesome. Still an awesome moment and pop. You know, it's a great average little match. The crowd got really into it, and HBK once again stole the show. And hey, we did get bamboozled and had a pretty close little false finish. I say it was a solid match. And just like that, there were only 2 matches left on the card. And this is where one person could easily say, well, Pav, how can this be a classic pay-per-view if 3 of the 5 matches were what they were?
Because the Royal made it a classic.
2 matches on the card is also all you need for a classic, in my opinion. Especially when one of them is over an hour long.
To Oliver, eating here instead of buying a stadium hot dog is like putting away 20 bucks. With the Wells Fargo mobile app, tracking his savings is simple. Whoops.
If you get stuck on the melody, or if you just feel like you can't get a song started, Output's co-producer is very dope. They make it much easier for us to either get inspiration or to help us when we just can't find that right element. Let me show you guys how this thing
fuck up. Same fucking at every fuck.
Jeff Hardy, in a way, as we know, as we've heard a million times, was bigger than Obama in 2008. He was bigger than Prime Viscera, okay? He was that guy. And what made his run to the top so special was, of course, the years of real issues that we had seen and heard about, right? Him leaving the company, the drug issues, all that. And what made it even more special was in 2008, things were still happening in his personal life. His house burned down. He was actually suspended in 2008 for his drug issues. Yet by the end of the year, he was hotter than ever, more popular than ever, and better than ever. And when you combine it with the challenges he had in storylines, the people were begging him to win the championship. And it's why when he did win, it was so special. Nobody ever thought it was possible. Nobody thought he would ever actually win. But it happened. And after everything that happened to him in real life, and I guess fake life, he did it. It's why that moment is so iconic for people from my generation. It's up there with any wrestling moment for us, and it's why everyone rightfully so always talks about it. But what's usually not mentioned is the aftermath. When I found out that Jeff vs. Edge was at the Rumble for the title, there was no doubt in my mind that Jeff was winning. There was no way, I don't care how slimy, how nasty, how evil Edge was, there was no way
Jeff
Edge
was supposed to win that motherfucking
Went to the show, I thought Jeff Hardy died.
Jeff was supposed to
retain.
retain.
When he got attacked by the pyro a few weeks before the show, I thought it was a...
This pyro attack, I thought it was real life. I started crying. I thought this was something that actually happened, bro. They actually got my ass when I was a kid. They got me so much. I thought Jeff Hardy was dead in GTA. They got me so good, bro. I was so scared to ever watch this like episode of Raw, bro. And I realized shit was not like what it seems. I'm like, bruh.
Rap, I thought it was a real malfunction, and I knew Edge was behind it. Of course he was. He's the only one who could ever do something like that. When Jeff Hardy got into a car accident on SmackDown, Edge had to be behind it. And in 2008, when Jeff Hardy went missing before Survivor Series, it had to be Edge. It was always Edge. Edge was always in the right place, right time. It was Edge, Edge, Edge. And this was the night where Jeff was finally going to get his revenge and move on and live happily ever after. I thought Jeff was winning. I thought it was no doubt. I thought it was easy. And even if you go online and look at predictions from older fans from 2009, everyone thought Jeff was winning. That's all I wanted. It's what was going to happen. Everything was supposed to be perfect. Jeff Hardy versus Edge for the WWE title, and just to make things even better, it was no disqualification, and these two went off. These two went crazy. This was one of my favorite matches to watch as a kid. As someone who was lucky enough to order the show on pay-per-view and also bought the DVD, I would watch this over and over and over. Jeff Hardy, a month after winning the title, defending it, going all out with Edge. It was beautiful, and best of all, it was no disqualification. Jeff Hardy in matches that didn't have any rules was something I used to pray for. I'm not joking. I'm pretty sure I prayed for times like this back in 2008. Chair shots like 2 minutes into the match, springboards, high flying moves straight away.
Twist of fate on the goddamn apron.
Twist of fate on that apron. That wasn't common back then. It was amazing, it was intense, it was physical, it was everything you ever wanted from these two. And watching this back all these years later was so fun because first of all, the arena reminds me of S-Sphere 2010. Jeff Hardy's face paint reminds me of S-Sphere 2010. What a fun time this was.
Looking at the
Jeff Hardy had so much aura. Chavo was out here being a little rat trying to help Edge win, and it didn't matter because I love the spot where Jeff just says YOLO and decides to wild out on Chavo and casually jump off a ladder through a table, not to Edge, no, to Chavo. And I always love the spot because of how scary it looked. Jeff Hardy literally slipped off the ladder, but still managed to recover and hit the move, and it's like, of course he did. It's Jeff Hardy. It's Jeff Hardy, bro. When Little Pap saw that, trust me, my shirt was off. I was jumping around up and down my living room. Jeffrey was not losing on this night. And these two put on such a good match. The crowd loved it. It was so back and forth. And what I loved was there was no finisher spam. This wasn't one of those matches like finisher, finisher, finisher. Edge didn't hit a single spear. Hardy only hit one single swanton.
One swanton. It was a straight high flying, straight moveset.
You thought the match was over. And by the way, spear into a twist of fate is a wild and underrated reversal.
No cap.
So the match was going, it was great, it was awesome, and it was time for Jeff Hardy to hit the swanton and probably get the 1, 2, 3. Of course, Vicky Guerrero came down to ruin it all, but I was like, it's fine, whatever. What is she gonna do, right? Realistically, what is she gonna do? Blow Jeff Hardy's eardrum? It's fine. Jeff hits it, she pulls a ref out, whatever, it's fine. Edge is not winning. And wait, look who it is. It's Matt Hardy, the most useless member of Team Extreme. Out comes Matt Hardy. And even as a Matt Hardy hater back in 2009 who had no need for Matt Hardy post 2006 once Jeff Hardy came back to the company, even I was excited. It was still the damn Hardy Boys reuniting. It was still Matt Hardy coming to help his little brother. It was Team Extreme. It was the Hardy Boys. He's here to help his brother against the man who, by the way, years ago got him fired and stole his girl. At least someone was there to finally help Jeff, no matter how useless the person was.
Bro,
so I'm excited. I'm into it.
Breaks off,
and then it happened.
Jeff Hardy. Bang!
Because we can have nice things. Matt Hardy hits Jeff with the chair and breaks the heart of every single kid watching this live under the age of 15. Matt Hardy, that useless, annoying, fat idiot, the one who couldn't even beat Jack Swagger earlier in the night, decides to turn on Jeff and help the man who stole his girl from him, who got him fired years ago, win the title. And just like that, the legendary, iconic, amazing Jeff Hardy win from a month ago ends in just over a month because his useless, stupid brother. And of course, Edge ends up champion. By this point, I knew wrestling was fake. I knew it was scripted. Even then, though, I still thought Edge almost killed Jeff Hardy. It had been a few months since my awakening, but I didn't care. At this moment, it was still real to me, damn it. This was heartbreaking. This was truly heartbreaking because as a it was so hard for Jeff to ever win the title. How is he ever going to get it back? It was also like, Matt Hardy, the most useless, annoying, disgusting brother ever. Of course he had to turn on Jeff. Just when Jeff finally wins the title, it's like, of course, here he comes. Time for Matt Hardy to ruin everything.
Here comes little old Matt.
I was genuinely heartbroken. This was one of the saddest things I had ever watched live on wrestling. This one really hurt because Jeff's win meant so much, and then seeing this happen, it didn't feel real. Top 10 saddest anime deaths, or whatever you want to call it. But such a banger match, all things considered. The Matt vs. Jeff storyline was alright, after this. But on this night, let's be real. This match was fire, and that turn was shocking as hell. Listen, it was out of nowhere. Maybe if I read the dirt sheets at the time, I would have known or something. But I had no idea this was ever going to happen. I never thought Matt would turn on Jeff. So when it happened, it truly broke my heart. When it clicks where it's like, wait, it wasn't Edge who tried killing Jeff, it wasn't Edge who hit him with his car or got the pyro shot up in his face, it was Matt. Regardless of what happened on this night, it was a hot match, hot angle, legendary chemistry between Jeff and Edge.
Mr. Frankenstein, your bride.
The bride.
You know that big presentation you have to finish? Well, it's not gonna write itself.
And a really crazy turn. Oh, and one depressed little Pav. It's Matt Hardy forever, I'm sorry. I don't think I ever got over this. Even later in the year when Matt and Jeff teamed up again on SmackDown, I remember watching that and just being like, no, like, Jeff, what are you doing? Get away from that sick freak. So disgusting. Jokes aside, though, that was a very special match and a very special turn. It was then time, though, for the main event. The reason everyone was there, the reason why I ordered this show, the reason why everyone ordered this show, the Royal Rumble match.
Yes.
There have been a lot of classic Rumble matches over the years. And honestly, the main reason why I wanted to make this video is this is one of them. This to me is a top 10 Rumble match of all time.
Yes.
And it's a personal favorite.
Yes.
Not only because this was the Randy Orton show and his whole storyline going into this was just a stacked ass Rumble, and along with this in 2010, this really felt like the last hurrah for our generation. The match begins with Rey Mysterio and John Morrison, and the crowd is so hot right from the get-go. The crowd is hot, they're loud, they're rowdy, and you have a bunch of solid stars coming in doing their thing. But business instantly picks up very early at number 7 when Triple H
came right up.
Triple H goes in there and he goes off.
Them boys started going crazy.
Triple H just inside of the Rumble because like after this, he only had 2 more Rumbles in him, and one of them was 2016, which was old man Triple H.
Boom!
But here Triple H was still full time doing his thing, and of course it was.
Then there should be a good spine buster from Triple H. I love that.
Where's Randy coming out?
Triple H got the best spine buster in the
for his father.
Triple H got the best spine buster in WWE. I don't care what y'all say. Triple H got the best spine buster. Triple H got one of the best movesets in WWE.
And for his wife.
Look at the high knee. Look at the high knee.
Look at the high knee. Out there just builds and builds from whenever Randy comes out. And
breaking John Morrison's jaw with the high knee.
Randy ends up being the very next entrant. As we know, Randy is a heel at this point, obviously. The biggest heel in the company, and the crowd goes nuts when his music hits. And as soon as it hits, Jared just goes like, uh-oh. And when Triple H and Randy go at it, it was perfect because Randy wasn't even on some, heel scaredy cat vibes. He went straight in there and went toe-to-toe with Triple H. His former mentor, his biggest op in his career at that point, the son-in-law of the old man who he just killed. I can't believe they butchered this WrestleMania main event. But no, at this moment, at this point in time, it was special. And like I mentioned before, as soon as Randy's in the Rumble, the entire Rumble revolves around him. And things only get better for Randy when his YGs pull up.
And
Teddy
no cap,
DiBiase Jr. and Cody Rhodes. Because then it becomes
his
protect
sliders.
Randy at all costs, and it's them three versus everyone. And even in the beginning, this Rumble was so stacked. You had Rey Mysterio doing his thing. You had young John Morrison. Jericho comes out. Triple H. And, of course, Legacy. Who are like a pack of wolves doing their thing.
This
kind of looks racially motivated. Relax,
jumping the
guys.
bricks
So
off.
by the time Legacy's going around destroying everyone, like Triple H, Finley, everyone and anyone, then it all becomes, oh no, who can stop Legacy? How do you stop a trio in the Rumble? And then next thing you know,
it's John Cena. Oh, Undertaker.
Okay, that's
Justin's in this
way.
one too.
Yes, the Undertaker comes out in the 2009 Royal Rumble. The crowd goes insane. Everyone just stops and stares at the Undertaker while he makes his entrance. And the sheriff of the company is on his way, and who also happens to have history with Randall at this point. Remember that. But Undertaker doesn't discriminate. He hates everyone, and it was so beautiful to see this. Undertaker was moving so fast. He was so quick and agile. Undertaker, when his hips actually worked. Yeah, and this was important because this ended up being Undertaker's second last Rumble appearance ever. The only one he made after this was 2017, which does that really count? Not really. But this was prime Undertaker, 2009 Undertaker, months before his magnum opus, months before his best match ever. He goes in there, he clears house, and the Undertaker was in the Rumble.
Crazy snake eyes, you gotta give him a big
and the moments just keep coming and coming. It's such a good Rumble. Next up was Goldust, and it was only right that him and Cody Rhodes had their little moment, which the crowd absolutely loved. What a stacked Rumble, just such a nice mix of old stars and new stars. RVD came back to one of the loudest Rumble return pops ever at that point. Nobody expected RVD pulling up. Also, I can't lie, back in 2009 when I was watching this live, when I saw RVD, I actually thought he was going to win the Rumble. He didn't. He got clapped. But like, yo, look at the talent pool. Taker, Kane, Triple H, Rey, Jericho, Randy, RVD. The Big Show. As well as stars on their way like young CM Punk, Kofi Kingston, Miz, Cody Rhodes, Dolph. It was so balanced. And one thing I always loved about this Rumble, one thing I love about Rumbles in general, but they don't often do, is when the ring just gets filled with a bunch of wrestlers and they're just going at it. To me, as a kid, that's what the Rumble was. That's what I always wanted to see. Part of the Rumble, when the ring fills up, they start fading, and a bunch of Neanderthals fighting. Finisher barrage. This one, we actually got it when there was 15 people in the ring tweaking. One of my favorite moments definitely was the hilarious Jericho and Undertaker interaction. I couldn't wait for the new year to start, and I could watch this shit. I really wish we had 09.
Like, I don't understand, bro. I actually couldn't wait for the whole year to get over with so I could watch Royal Rumble, my nigga. This is my favorite pay-per-view of all time, bro. Like, this is the greatest pay-per-view after WrestleMania. I don't care. It's not, bro, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Elimination Chamber. And then you got, probably like, I'm gonna say SummerSlam or Survivor Series. Like, bro, Rumble, WrestleMania, Elimination Chamber.
Jericho versus 09.
Love that shit.
If only. We also had a truly iconic moment in this Rumble, which was Santino getting clapped.
I like old Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell's fire too.
And having the fastest elimination in history. This was a clip I used to watch over and over as a kid. I used to find this so funny for some reason growing up, and I still do. They absolutely nailed it. But Randy put on a legendary performance on this night. I don't know why no one ever talks about Randy's performance in this Rumble. He spent over 50 minutes into the match, and it wasn't because he had a bunch of eliminations. Like, no, that doesn't matter. I don't care if you have 10 eliminations or if you have 3 like he did. He was on fire this night, and he had a crazy performance. RKO's everywhere.
RKO barrage.
Mid-move. RKO there, here, everywhere. It doesn't matter. RKOing Cody's brother and then calls Cody over like a gangster. RKOing Big Show on the ropes. He was just on fire this night. He survived, and it wasn't one of those performances where he just like lays down in the corner the whole time. He was putting in work consistently throughout the entire match. But as expected, as people came, they went. Legends returned. They got eliminated. New Stars showed up. They got eliminated. Legacy always found a way to survive like a bunch of rats. But right along with them was Triple H. Randy was out here RKOing Big Show on the ropes, just slowly surviving. And it was only right that the final four ended up being Legacy versus Triple H. And I always wondered, if Legacy were the final 3, would they become suicide bombers and do the ultimate sacrifice for Randy? After 56 minutes, it came down to this 3v1. Randy Orton, who just beat up the boss of the company, who could possibly be fired, arrested, life on the line, who's been out here acting like a serial killer, was this close to winning the Rumble and ruining everything for the McMahon family. And the only person who could stop him?
Parents of children who play Roblox. If your child was sexually exploited,
was Vince's son-in-law. Everything built up to this. It was so predictable, but it was exactly what everyone wanted and exactly what everyone needed. Like a pack of hyenas, they attacked Triple H, and the best part was the crowd loved it. Triple H was getting clapped, and they wanted Legacy to beat his ass. And at one point, we got a crazy spot, a scary spot. Triple H almost sends Randy over the top rope, and for a split second, I swear, there's no way you can tell me that it doesn't seem like he's going over. Heart-sinking moment. Even though I know who won this Rumble all these years later, even I saw this, I'm like, wait, what? Such a close call. Spine busters, pedigrees, everything you can imagine. Triple H is doing everything he can. Eliminates Ted. Crowd goes wild. Throws out Cody. And out of nowhere, like King Von with a Glock on 63rd, Randy legit 0.5 seconds later after Cody is out, sends Triple H out. And he wins the 2009 Rumble as the biggest heel in the company. The biggest demon in the company. The biggest savage. The biggest heel. Goes out there, wins the Rumble. And Detroit, I swear, they cheer for him like he's the biggest superhero in the world. The whole show was built around this man. The whole storyline, the whole company was going all in on Randy Orton, and he clutched it at the Rumble. And Randy Orton with those scary ass eyes looking so demented, so evil, gets the win and caps off, to me, in my opinion, a classic Rumble. He celebrates with his boys, Pyro goes off, Triple H is dead, Triple H is depressed, he let down his father-in-law. And Randy Orton, just less than a week after doing this, is now going to the main event of WrestleMania. How the hell do you not tune into Raw the next night? Trust me. Everyone I knew did. Such a special moment. I love this Rumble. From Taker to Randy vs Triple H, RVD coming back, Cody and Goldust, how stacked the Rumble was in general, old versus new, this actually feeling like a Rumble with a ring being filled up. I have always loved this Rumble, and I think it's so underrated, and to me, it's a classic. I love how they threaded the entire Randy Orton storyline in here. I like I said, I think this is the top 10 Rumble of all time. And it also means a lot to me because this, along with 2010, like I said, felt like the last hurrah for a lot of these guys. And for the Rumble in general, from our childhoods, Taker and Triple H, they never really made appearances after this. To me, the quality of the Rumble also really declined in 2011 and 2012. But here, on this night, it was so special, so stacked, and it just felt like the most important match ever. And I'm just a sucker for how the entire show and match revolved around Randy Orton, and they delivered in every single way. This was a time I became a huge Randy fan in 2009 when he was a heel and he started beating up Vince. I'm like, you know what, that's it. He might be my new guy for a while. Fun fact, I used to get pissed off as a kid because I'd play SVR 2009 and they didn't have the updated Randy model. He didn't have the updated tattoos, and I'd be so sad. I'm like, no, I want the evil Randy with the tattoos. This was special. So the question is this show a classic? Is this a classic Rumble pay-per-view? I think it is. Despite Jack Swagger and Matt Hardy, and you can say, oh, it was a weak title match between Cena and JBL, I think the Rumble is so good, a true classic Rumble, plus Jeff versus Edge. I think it's on the brink. For me, it is a classic. But if I was being subjective, I would say it's a great show, maybe not a classic, but I'm not being subjective. It's my channel, my video. I think it's a classic. They delivered, and even Cena versus JBL, listen, Shawn Michaels did his best, and he made it pretty fun. I'm a sucker for this show. I'm a sucker for this time period. No one ever talks about this Rumble. Everyone's always talking about 08 and 2010. Rightfully so. I do too. But I love the 2009 Rumble, especially
good. 010
because
was
good.
Good. 11
like
Rumble was good too,
along with 2010. This just means something to me, okay? Okay, I'm sorry. In the comments down below, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you remember from this show. Let me know what you think of this show. Is this a classic or am I tripping? I think it's a classic, okay? Let me live. Let me know in the comments.